My wretched carriage driver seemed determined to hit every rut and crevice in the muddy road from Paris to the countryside. I wondered if he derived some sick pleasure from tossing his master around like so much cargo on a transport wagon. On more than one occasion in the last 6 years I daydreamed about killing him. However, permanently solving his ineptitude would require hiring a new driver. The gratification didn't seem worth the aggravation of the task. He hit another bump and I lunged forward, my knees hitting the seat in front of me. He'd reached my leniency limit.
"Watch out! How big does a hole need to be before you find it worthy of missing?"
I yelled at him from inside the coach.
"I'm trying my best, monsieur."
"Trying your best to do what? Kill me?"
A sudden pull of the reins pushed me back against the tufted velvet seat. "Why are we stopping?
What seems to be the problem now?"
I stabilized myself once again, planting both feet upon the Persian rug beneath them.
"There's a carriage in the road. Looks like they've run into some trouble."
Highwayman. My irritation turned into interest. Dusk, the favoured time of such perfidious endeavours. My senses on high alert, I peered out my window while gripping the handle of my weapon, ready for trouble. Taking the lives of a few thugs might make the trip tolerable, and of course it would make the roads safer. A delightful synergy of public service and a worthwhile activity in which I could express my hostile mood. As the stranded coach came into view, the driver answered,
"No, sir. It appears they have broken down."
"Thank you for your explanation. I could never have deduced such a conclusion from the lack of a wheel on one side. Your attention to detail is invaluable, as is your elucidation of the obvious."
"I am not the one who asked, sir."
I opened my mouth to address his impertinence, but a most extraordinary scene struck the diatribe right out of my head. In the moments between daylight and dusk, a woman stood with the splendid sunset over her shoulder. The evening sun's rays deepened her blue travelling suit to indigo. The light caressed sections of the fabric and made her white collar look like a moonbeam on water. The vibrancy of the scene rivaled any painting in the Louvre. She turned toward our approaching vessel. The soft hues of the setting sun fell upon her auburn tresses. Her sophisticated hairstyle framed an appealing oval-shaped face that expressed apprehension. A delicate beauty with rosy cheeks and big eyes looked toward my coach. Her striking presence against the surreal backdrop of a crimson sky almost made me disregard the instinct to conceal myself. Realizing the precarious situation of possible discovery, I drew away from the window before we approached any closer. I sat back in my seat, letting go of my weapon and once again clutching the silver handle of my walking stick. In direct opposition to my intrinsic desire to remain hidden, I leaned forward. I had to observe the beauty of that woman one more time. I'd never be able to forget such a strange, ethereal sight. Upon hearing my coach pass, she stepped back and landed ankle-deep in mud. Her driver dropped his tools. He grabbed her by the elbow in an effort to steady her stance. His filthy fingers left a handprint upon her velvet sleeve. Instantly, my peril-honed intuition triggered danger warnings through my head. Maybe it was the thinly veiled depravity in his vermin-like eyes. Or, perhaps, one murderous lunatic can identify another. Whatever the reason, I knew that if I left her there, she would not live to see another sunset. My heart pounded with forceful beats. I had to make an instantaneous critical decision. My potent desire to stay concealed within the coach made me consider journeying onward and leaving her at the mercy of fate.
"Driver, stop. Ask if the lady needs a ride,"
escaped my lips. With restless anticipation, I leaned forward to glance at the scene once more. We hit a rather large furrow in the road which knocked me off balance. My left temple smacked into the rosewood edging around the window, knocking my mask askew and launching me sideways into the seat. A massive wave of fury flushed through my body. I adjusted the mask and then rubbed the developing welt on my head.
"Confound it, man, are you blind to road obstacles?"
I straightened my cape, tugged at my collar.
"I'm pulling to the side of the road, sir. You did order me to stop, did you not?"
"Have you no sense at all? Where did you acquire such abhorrent driving skills? A dim-witted child would know to avoid the trenches."